Hi, welcome to interview.com. Interview.com is a job portal. If you're looking for a job, you can log on to interview.com and you can post your resume with us. In this video, I'm going to give a list of core Java interview questions for freshers. Can Java thread object invoke start method twice? So Java thread method has a start. Can we do it? Can we run it twice? No, you can't do that because you'll be getting a legal state thread exception. Keep the list of Java object class methods equals hash code wait. So there are few methods in Java objects. Can we call servlet destroy from service? Can we override a static method? No, we cannot, because overriding concept only applies to the instance method and not to the static method, because static methods are attached to the class and instance methods are attached to the objects. Okay, so you can't apply override to a static method. Can you list serialization interface methods? There are no serialization interface methods because it's just a marker interface. If you have, say, the other interface like runnable, you have to implement this run method. But whereas serialization, there are no methods that you need to implement, but it's a marker interface. You're just informing the compiler, boss, this class is a serialization, so can you change the behavior, okay, or can you add the behavior, something like that. Okay, so it's just a marker interface. What is the difference between super and this? How to prevent a method from being overridden? You can mark it as a final so that no one can override it. Okay. Can we create abstract class without any abstract methods? Yes, it is possible. These are all tricky questions. Yeah. Okay. So can explain private, protected, and public. Private is local, and public is like anywhere you can access. Protected is like to the subclass. Can we have static methods in interface? What is transient variable? Transient variable is if you want to mark a variable which should not be involved in the process of serialization, then you can use transient. Okay, transient keyword is just to skip the serialization process. In case there is a return at the end of try block, will execute finally block? Yes, finally block always executed. Please remember, finally block always executed irrespective of return statement or an exception happened, because finally block dominates the return statement and the exception. What is abstract class or abstract method? Abstract class, or like, it contains abstract methods. It cannot be instantiated, okay, because it is like a base class which forces the subclass to implement some of the methods. For example, person. Okay, person is an abstract class, whereas John and Matthew are like objects. Okay, objects and the subclass you can have. I can give you a best example like vehicle. I can mark it as an abstract class, and car and two-wheeler I can mark it as a subclasses. Okay. What is default value of boolean? When to use linked list or array list? Array list is for iteration, and linked list for if you want to insert and remove, then you can go for linked list. What is daemon thread? It's a low priority thread. It will run in the background. Okay. Does each thread in Java uses separate stack? Yes, in each thread they will have their own separate stack. What is the difference between enumeration and iterator? Does system.exit in try block executes finally block? No. If you have a system.exit, this is the only case where finally block will never be executed. What is fail fast in Java? The moment you encounter a failure, immediately throw an exception, come out of that, don't even proceed. What is finally, final, and finalize? Final is like you can mark a class, a method, and a variable final, so that it will never be extended, it cannot be overridden, you can never reinitialize it. Finally, you know that in the exception we can have a finally block is used for releasing the memory or cleaning up. Finalize it's like for used in garbage collection. So before reclaiming the memory, it's a final opportunity that garbage collector gives you. If you want to do something, release the resources, you can do it. In Java, true and false are keywords. What is the purpose of garbage collection? Garbage collection is like you have objects in your heap memory, and if it becomes unreachable. Okay, unreachable means someone has marked as null, and there are references and objects created in the heap. You want to reclaim so that it will be reused in the heap memory. What are the types of result set? What is the difference between wait and sleep method? Sleep holds the lock, and wait does not hold the lock. What is servlet context? What happens if one of the members in a class does not implement serializable interface? What is race condition? When a shared variable is accessed by 2 or 3 threads, and that is called as race condition. Okay, how to get current time in milliseconds? How can you convert map to list? What is strict FP keyword? What is system.out in Java? System is a class and out is one of the static variable inside the system class, and this is used for printing your strings or whatever value you have in the console. What is the difference between servlet output stream and print writer? What is Java static import? If you want to import some of the variables from a different class to the current class, you can use static import. The advantage here is you don't have to mention every time class name dot the variable, class name dot variable. You don't have to mention. You can just directly start using the variable as though it is the local variable or the instance variable. Okay, so that is the benefit of static import. When to use string and string buffer? String buffer is performance efficient because for appending you can use string buffers. Okay, what is the difference between string buffer and string builders? The string builder is thread safety and string buffer is not thread safety, so based on your need you can use it. What is wrapper class in Java? What is iterator class? What is Java class path? Java class path is like you are mentioning the jars, and you are informing the JVM where to find out the class path classes. For example, whenever you are trying to load any class, the JVM will look at this class path and try to find out what is that class that you want to load, whether it is there in the class path or not. For example, if you are using a JDBC program, if you are writing a JDBC program, if you want to load a JDBC jar, okay, whether it is there in the class path or not. If it is not there, you will be getting a class not found exception. Can a class in Java be marked as private? Is null a keyword in Java? What is the initial state of a thread when it is started? It is runnable state. What is the superclass of a superclass for exception and error? Object is the superclass. What is class for .forName? What is class .forName? This is used in reflection. If you don't know the name of the class, you can use a string and you can load the class inside the JVM. This class .forName is used in the reflection concept. Can interface be final? What is the difference between exception and error? Exception is like you can recover from the if you can recover from a problem, then you can use exception, and whenever you cannot recover from any problem happened to the application, then it is an error. What is the default value of local variable? What is local class in Java? Can we initialize uninitialize final variable? Only one time you can initialize the final variable, after that you can't. Can we declare abstract methods as final? No, because you need someone to implement it, so we can't mark it as. Can we have finally block without catch block? What is pass by value and pass by reference? Pass by value is like you're sending a copy, whereas pass by reference is address. Can we declare main method as private? Yes, but you'll be getting an error. No such method error. Okay. What is the difference between preemptive scheduling and time slicing? Can non-static member class have static members? What are the environment variables do we need to set to run Java? Can you serialize static fields of a class? What is the difference between declaring a variable and defining a variable? Where can we use serialization? Runtime and system class, static synchronized and synchronized methods, synchronization at the static methods and synchronization at the instance methods. What is the difference? So whenever you synchronize a static method, the lock is obtained at the class level. Whenever you synchronize an instance method, the lock is obtained at the object level. Okay, there is a difference. What is the order of catch blocks when catching more than one exception? The order should be the base class at the end and subclasses at the top. Okay, so it begins with base class subclasses and it ends at the base class, from subclass to base class. Okay, what is the difference between prefix and postfix forms of increment operator? What is hash code, hash table and hash map? Break, continue, return, while, do while. How to create and start a thread? You can create by extending a thread, or you can implement a runnable interface, and you can call start method and it will start. Can I extend a final class in Java? No, you cannot. That's the purpose. If you mark a class as final, that means I don't want anyone to extend my class and give their implementation. Explain volatile keyword. This is used in thread concept. Volatile keyword is like a shared memory among the shared variable among the threads. Okay, so one thread updates that value, it will be reflected for the other threads. Can we catch runtime exception? What is checked and unchecked exception? Yes, we can catch runtime exception. It is an unchecked exception. That means compiler will not worry about whether you're catching or throwing or whatever you're doing. It does not worry. Whereas checked exception is like, say, file not found exception is a checked exception, because if you are accessing a file and if you are marked as file not found exception, okay, it will check, the compiler will check and it will give a compiler. If you are not throwing, or the called method does not handle it properly, it will throw an error, compiler error you will be getting. When to make a constructor as private and why? Important Java entry question. Whenever you don't want to allow anyone to create an instance outside the class, then you mark the constructor as private. This concept you need in singleton design pattern. Hope this video is useful for your Java interview preparation. Thank you and all the best for your interview. Thank you.